Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Am I the a-hole for being honest after clapping cheeks with my boyfriend? Hey, Reddit. I am a 20-year-old female, and my boyfriend is a male 22-year-old. We have been together for 2.5 years, and last night we clapped cheeks. We decided to use my vibrator, and this isn't uncommon for us. I struggle to have the big O. If you're an adult, you should know what the big O is, okay? We're not going to have a class tonight on clapping cheeks. During penetration, my partner really wanted me to O first. I told him sometimes it's hard for me to get to that point with the toy and him in me. It's kind of like he's plugging me or preventing me to reach the big O with the toy and him at the same time. It's like they're on two different rhythms, if you know what I'm saying. This wasn't me turning this into a solo session. This wasn't my plan at all. However, my boyfriend suggested that I use the toy first and then he would come back and engage with me in the process. So I agreed. I began to finish the session, and during that process, my boyfriend unfortunately fell asleep. While it was only for about 10 minutes, I called his name and he didn't respond. And then he began to snore. As soon as I turned off the toy, he awakened quickly. I told him that he fell asleep and that I wasn't upset and we could go to bed because he was asleep. I turned over to go to sleep and he ends up leaving out of the room and telling me he can't be in the same room with me. I fall asleep and then I suddenly am awakened by him barging into the room with the flash in my face, very rudely, I might add. He places a pillow between us, gets into the bed, and tells me we have to talk in the morning. This is a situation of poor communication, immaturity, etc. A simple conversation could have resolved this issue for them both. However, because of their age, I understand that not everyone is going to wait to clap cheeks. However, there are some things that happen when it comes to this situation that have absolutely everything to do with age. So let's just start there. While everyone has the ability to clap cheeks at a young age, it doesn't mean that they are an expert by any means. As a matter of fact, many seasoned adults, they are not experts in this area. And a lot of people need to be coached in this area. If you don't talk through what you like, what they like, it's okay to have that conversation. However, the boyfriend is clearly feeling some type of way because she said he was asleep. And of course, he's probably also feeling like she finished the process without him. That happens as well. We are adults. We are individuals that are changing every day. Things happen every single day of our lives that may affect us in this area. There is nothing to be embarrassed about because the boyfriend was absolutely embarrassed. That's why he wanted to wait and have a conversation the next day. What are you really mad about? You made the suggestion that she get deeper into the process and then you would join in. But in that process, you fell asleep. And that's not a problem. Things happen. This morning, he proceeds to tell me he felt I gaslit him about being asleep because after he woke up, he took a shower and he played video games. So clearly he wasn't tired. And that I was being selfish when I had my time with the toy and told him that we can then go to sleep. Again, he made the suggestion, not her. I told him I can recognize he might not have felt like he fell asleep, because it was only for like 10 minutes. And it's not like it was REM sleep or deep sleep, for those that don't know what REM sleep is, which is rapid eye movement sleep, where you are in deep sleep, okay? It's happened to me before, falling asleep and not realizing after I told him how I felt that his attitude last night was interesting, because why do I have to lie about you falling asleep? After I gave him my perspective, he kept trying to respond to certain things that I brought up, even though I told him I was just giving my perspective and how I didn't think this needed to be a discussion, a conversation, or an argument, which is what he was making it out to be. I told him I wanted to go home, and he agreed because he didn't want me in his apartment at that time. So he didn't want to physically take me home. Therefore, I had to call an Uber to go home. I don't know, guys. I just don't get why this situation had to blow up so much. Maybe I'm not fully seeing something. Hopefully you guys can help me out. And there is an update. I want to clarify, my partner asked me to use my toy last night so I could get my O. He's also asked me before to use a toy, and we are generally on the same path when it comes to including toys into our clapping cheeks life. He was also not overworked. We spent most of the day chilling out, watching television, and snacking before we proceeded to clap cheeks. So again, let's talk a little bit about clapping cheeks in general. A lot of people don't realize that there are many ways to reach the big O. There's probably about 10 ways. It could be more, depending on if you consider certain things being a precursor to reaching the big O. And this is for anybody. This is for anyone that is active in this area. I always tell people that your experience in the bedroom is only going to be as good as your partner, because that's the truth. But because people think they know the recipe, they rush the process, they're not calm, they don't want to learn, especially men. They have a bigger ego than a woman does in this area sometimes. I'm not saying that all men have a big ego. However, many people do complain about their partner. Everyone does not like the same thing. Once you realize that, and once you're cool with that, you can then learn to enjoy the experience a little bit more. I don't think you were an a-hole at all. He was just feeling a little bit ego-driven at that time. You were not rude to him. You did not say anything derogatory to him about himself. He was, in fact, asleep. You called his name multiple times. He didn't respond. He was snoring. He was asleep. And that's not a problem. You were just simply honest. But let's see what Reddit had to say. You are not the a-hole. And to be honest, this whole situation sounds incredibly exhausting. You noticed that he fell asleep. Snoring is pretty much hard to fake or misinterpret. Very true. And you called his name multiple times. The second the toy turned off, he pretended nothing happened. You gently pointed out without making a big deal. You even said you were not upset and suggested just going to sleep instead. You're the mature one. He isn't. And after his reaction alone, get rid of this moron. Again, maturity. He needed to remove his ego from this situation. He made the suggestion. You complied. You finished. He was asleep. Start over tomorrow or later tonight. It's okay. You are not the a-hole. He is just a little immature.